Did you think it was going to be like that?
I'm checking. Are we good?
Yeah. They are. Right.
All right, we're joined by Coach and Amaris. Today for Amaris, 19 points. Drexel defeats Charleston 58-56. We'll open up with a statement from Coach. After that, we'll do questions for Amaris and then questions for Coach.
Just really pleased with this team win. I mean, it was a gritty win. Obviously, late game execution was really huge for us today. And Lane McGurk and Ariana Gravely, they really stepped up when we needed them to, as well as Kara McCormick making big shots. But that's what it means to be on our team and how we play. And obviously, Amaris with 19, taking big shots when we needed them and knocking them down. And that's what teams do, and you have to do it at home. And we beat a team that, we only faced one, so this was a really important game for us to get at home. So really, really happy with the overall. Just a lot of things that we saw tonight that I hope we continue to build on. But with this win, can't be happier, and happy to have Amaris right next to me who was able to step up and really make those plays when we needed her to.
Questions for Amaris? Just raise your hand.
Amaris, you guys are down 10 beginning of the fourth quarter. You get some great contributions from Lane McGurk and Ariana Gravely, and they haven't really played a ton this year. Talk about what it was like to see them really make some big shots, some big passes, some big rebounds from those two players.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I see them work hard every single day. So, I mean, it was their time. They came in and they just worked hard, and, it all paid off. So I'm super proud of them.
And what's it mean for you guys as a team, as players? You're down at home. You have a huge comeback against a really good team, one of the top teams in the conference. What does that do for you guys going forward into conference play?
I mean, just based off of that, the game isn't over until 0-0 in fourth quarter. So, we just got to keep on competing. These games are very, very competitive. Our conference is tough. So, this is just one game at a time, this whole conference. We have until March. So this is just, the beginning.
Hey, Maris. I'll dovetail that and say in this crazy league, it's, you really can't look ahead. But back-to-back, your game winner last week and this, you kind of feel a confident sense is building forward, that this team can kind of do what it wants to do on a given night if it puts its mind to it.
Yes, most definitely. This is a team sport, and we just have confidence in one another. So, I mean, that just definitely just carries onto the court.
So in the first quarter, you got off to a strong start, 10 points in the first quarter, and then the second and third, seemed like things kind of clogged up on you a little bit. Like the whole entire defense was kind of focused on you. And then fourth quarter, finish off really strong, kind of help ice out the comeback win. So what was the game like for you? Like, how did you adjust to their defense's adjustments to you as the game went on?
I mean, just a lot of patience. It's going to be very, very physical, but again, it's a team sport. Like 1 through 12, everyone contributes. So, I mean, even if I'm sitting down, I'm supporting my teammates, and they're out there, they're competing, they're having fun, and that's all that matters to me.
Any other questions for Amaris? Perfect. Awesome.
Thanks, Amaris. So kind of the same question that I asked Amaris. You look at it from a coach perspective, right? Down 10, turning the ball over a lot. Offense really isn't going your way. You get Gravely and McGurk in, and you get a couple of big threes from McCormick. Did you feel like the tide was turning a little bit once you got those 2 threes and say, okay, here we go? You just saw the team, I felt, a little bit more loose. Is that the feeling you got on the bench as well?
Yes, I think they definitely set the tone. I mean, Lane was getting the ball off the floor, pushing it up, and really just causing the momentum to go in our direction. And she made a couple big shots, and then obviously Kara with McCormick hitting those threes. You could feel it, and I think that's when as a coach you really have to go with what's going on the floor, and those two were making a big difference. So that's where you stick to what you have, and I think we did that in our last game where we made some different substitutions, and some people that start the game didn't necessarily finish it, but with this group. Kind of to go off what Mel was saying, I really feel like they're starting to see each game some things that we are capable of doing. And one thing I've loved about coaching at Drexel for so long When teams play us, I feel like they never think they're safe, even if they're up 10, because we're capable on any given night of doing something like we did today. And I don't think it's not a given, but I think we're always in a place just by the way we play and how we play.
Yeah, but looking at, again, that fourth quarter, fourth quarter's been a little bit of an issue for this team this year, but you come back, you get things together, use the home crowd. They started getting into it for a little bit. What does this do for you guys going forward to get this win over a really good team? And, you now are 4-2, kind of in the top tier of the conference at this moment. What does that do for your team going forward?
I think it's huge just for confidence. As much as we have some returnees from last year, we have a lot of new faces, and I think they're still learning. That chemistry on the court you build each game, and I think our chemistry is building as we go through each game. We had a tough game down at NCAP, but we were right in it. We had the lead most of the time, so finishing out games, we did that on Sunday, and we were able to do that tonight, and that's important in league play. You got to be able to finish games and find a way. It's not always pretty, but you find a way to do it, and I think that's where you can start to see this group's chemistry on the court just starting to form with each minute they're together.
Follow up a little bit, there's a lot of games like this going on this year in a lot of places and all. And in some ways, it's in terms of crowd engagement, growth of the sport. But what's it like those last 2 minutes that go on forever because the wheels are turning? And it isn't like every half minute. It's like every 4 seconds, They punch, you counter punch back and forth. So what's it kind of like on the inside when you're running the show?
When you're running, my biggest thing is I try to stay calm, no matter what, knowing I've been here before, we've been here before, maybe with different people, and we've prepared for it, so as those are going on, we call timeout and we say we're going to run something, even though a couple of them maybe didn't look quite, somehow we did score, but they're prepared for those situations. So for me, I think it's important that I stay calm because I think they're going to respond how I do. But these games, I think we're going to have more of them in situations. Those are end of the game situations, and late game execution are things that we're going to have to continue to get better at and grow with. And I think for me, inside a couple of times, I'm kind of like the last 4.5 when they were at the clock, deciding how much time was left for that 3.6, 4 point. That felt like an hour waiting. So it was nothing like icing the shooter, and that definitely felt like that in that moment. But obviously to come out with the win in that moment, I'm just really excited for this group.
So in the first half, I think you guys had 14 turnovers. Seemed like Charleston was really intent on pressuring you guys wherever the ball was, up and down the court, just kind of blitzing to the ball. And then, especially that last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter with, as you mentioned, a pretty unique lineup for you guys with some, probably the first time that you've had those five out together was for some extended run. You guys really cleaned everything up and were able to complete the comeback. So what were the adjustments that you guys made as a team, and what do you think it says about you guys as a team that even when a lot of things went wrong in the first half, you guys were able to pull it together in a big way?
I think like anything, any halftime you go in and you make adjustments. You make adjustments on the offensive end, on the defensive end. Obviously, I wasn't happy with the turnovers we had in the first half, so we did change some things, approach a little bit different with how we want to try to break the pressure, and especially those last minutes when we were playing, we really were just going at them. And I thought Lane McGurk did a great job, a bigger guard. She just pushed the ball down the floor, and I think we were hesitating a little bit at the beginning, kind of waiting to see what they were going to do. And when teams do that, if you wait, that's when they get you. So I think we made that adjustment. And then they stayed with it, so that really made a big difference. And then just the group that was out there, they were doing the things. Ariana was getting touches on the ball, getting rebounds, getting loose balls, and some of those we were missing in the first half. So I think that adjustment as a group really helped us, finish the game.
And then Charleston coming in as the number one offense in the league. I think they're averaging 75 points per game coming in. You guys hold them to 56 on 28% shooting. So what can you say about that effort and the execution that you guys put out there today?
That's huge. We knew, looking at our defensive goal was low, for this team, but we knew we were going to have to do that to beat them. And they forced over 20 turnovers a game, so we knew that was coming at us with the pressure, but also their ability to score and score fast. So those last few minutes, as Mel was saying earlier, they felt forever because you just knew how fast, even if you had a 4-point lead, how fast they were going to score. And I thought we even made an adjustment. We went zone so they couldn't quickly get a 2, and we did a nice job. Unfortunately, we got called for a foul that made it a 3-point play. What we didn't want to do, but just those are the moments that we're going to have to continue to learn from, knowing if we face this team again, what we're going to see and be ready for.
Yeah, this team, of course, was through here in December, in a very competitive game with St. Joe in their title game in their tournament. And looking at film, I'm sure that film was on the list. Anything you saw there or whatever that you were able to pick up for the scout going into this game?
Yeah, I think definitely, obviously, knowing St. Joe's, we obviously faced them earlier in the season, and understanding the style of play, it was you were able to get an idea how they play against teams that are a little bit slower, in the sense of half-court game, the way they play, and I felt like that we were able to see some of the different looks they had, whether it was like the slips, some of the looks. I think some of the really nice looks we got tonight. You're always looking at teams that you know pretty well, and St. Joe's we obviously know pretty well just from playing them this year, but also knowing their personnel and the type of things they look to do. So we knew we were going to get some looks inside, and I think we were able to get counter some of those early with Evans. But I think that's for us something any coach does when you're watching teams. You're looking at teams that are similar to you and what you'd like to do.
Thank you. We'll be back here. 1 o'clock is now the new game time. It's not 2 anymore.